Hey y'all, we're going to talk about the Salt Lake City Housewives season 6, episode 6, Out of Gas. So we do start with Heather and Angie. They calling each other, FaceTiming each other on the phone, and just rehashing the garden party that happened. Obviously, it was the Angie and Lisa show. How is Lisa or how is Angie doing? Has she talked to Mary? She said she gonna meet up with Mary, but when it comes to Lisa, she's realizing, now that everything's calmed down and she got time to think about it. It's like, dang, Lisa got me out here acting a fool. Like she ain't, obviously she ain't saying these words, but I'm paraphrasing. Like dang, I was really out here, you know, um just going at her, and I ain't like the way I handled that. I don't like the way, I felt guilty about the things that I said, and I just don't want to be going low like that with her no more. I'm just kind of ready to talk to her and just hash it out. So of course Heather's like, yeah, I agree with this. I'm ready for it myself. With her, finally, I think the light bulb is clicking in Heather's brain. Like, dang, Lisa might not be the person that I thought she was. This, yeah, because you was blinded by whatever, I don't know, crap that you got going on, Heather, trying to be up Lisa ass. But yeah, you realizing that, dang, with all the stuff that she's doing to her actual friends, what's gonna happen when she fall out with me, So she's kind of hoping that Lisa gets on the same page that Angie is on right now to say like, dang, well, I done messed up too, like she need to take some accountability, right? But on the other hand, she's like, oh, I got this trip coming up and I'm gonna invite you all to the Canavan somewhere in the islands, but that it's gonna be on the super yacht. Okay, so Todd and Brown go out for ice cream, and sorry, Mr. Todd, I know people is not really on your side, and I think this episode, people probably is really gonna be talking mess about their marriage and how he treats her and this and that. But like I said, I understand it. He's a man of a certain age, business type guy. He lives in a different world where these things just don't happen, okay? Because it's not tolerated, right? So for him, it's like if it's something I ain't got to deal with, I ain't got to deal with it, and at least basically at least can go on somewhere, right? So Brown's telling him all about this stuff, but just letting him know, like, dang, it was Lisa and them was going at it. I was staying out of it. I ain't do nothing. I didn't get loud. I didn't engage in none of that mess. So of course Todd's like, okay, cool. I'm glad you did that, but I really don't care. Okay, like, okay, whoop de doo. You want some you want some flowers or something? So in the midst of this talking, she does say something about, it's like, ooh, I got a whole Sunday, and I hate when you always eat the cherry because that's my favorite, and I always like to save it for last. You don't pop the cherry right on top off the dang thing. I mean, he did it on purpose, ha, whatever, what you gonna do. We go get a whole nother one. We right there at the counter, like for real, right? But anyway, um, she goes to proceed to tell him about the psychic. Like, yeah, she had a psychic there and it was really insightful. He was telling me about my mom and this and that. And Ty was like, I don't really care for psychics like that. Like, I don't believe in them like that, but if that's what you want to do, then sure, to go ahead. And Brown was like, dang, like, she kind of tears up a little bit, like, oh my God, I was trying to, express myself, and you're making me feel like I'm misunderstood. People don't understand me. You're my husband. You're supposed to understand, all that. Blah, blah. And he like, okay, I mean, I'm sorry, dang, I wasn't trying to be like that, but I mean, you talk like literally you talking about some stuff I really can care less about. It's just kind of how his attitude was. He could have been a little bit more I guess excited about it, but it's just not his demeanor. I guess it's just not tied. I don't know. All right, so Lisa and John, um, she brings up the psychic, like, yeah, and he kind of hit the nail on the head with our relationship. Like, dang, our communication is bad. So, and he like, yeah, you know, um, John, he's a man of few words, okay? Especially when on this show, he doesn't really speak up too much. I think, obviously Elisa runs this house, right? Um, she's realizing that, dang, I do so much. The lines are blurring at this point. We've been at it so long. We got these businesses because they have businesses together, which means they work together. But then they have kids and, then they have, each other. So where's the time for this and where's the time for that? And when do we get to talk about this? And when do we get to talk about that? And when do we get to just, really be us and just talk and just communicate and be on the same page? And it's just not happening lately. According to Lisa, it's kind of just, it's not like like one catalyst that has started this trend in their marriage. Should we call it? It's just kind of just always been there. Um and it's pretty much gotten to the point to where, like, dang, like when she's exhausted and stressed and things like that from just her day, instead of going home to talk to John, she's sitting in her car crying to her dad to get his advice and his insight and comfort, when you should be talking to John. And of course he's sitting there listening to her. He did try to get in the words. See, and that's where I kind of caught it, because he was going to say something, but then she cut him off and she went into what she said. So then he stepped back, waited for her to finish. Then she, uh, throws the ball in his court. He gives his answer, but yeah, it was like, yeah, I don't think you be listening to me, Lisa. And if you do listen to me, I don't think, you necessarily care what I got to say. So with that, it's like, I think for John, he doesn't, I think he said what did he say? I forgot what she said. It was something to like, oh, wait, well, maybe it's both of us that's lost in the sauce. And he said, oh, well, maybe it's just me. And I'm like, oh, dang, John, ugh. That's kind of not the answer that we was looking for. Maybe she was looking for it. Because, like, I mean, come on now, husband. I need you to, just be a little bit more assertive here with your wife. And maybe she would listen. I don't know. I think he need to put his foot down somewhere in their relationship. But they do love each other, so it's not like they just want to break it off or nothing. They just got to work on this problem. Communication. Angie and Mary. Okay, so Mary is a tricky little thing here. Okay, the more we're seeing her ever since she's came back on the show, because remember she took like what, a year or two break, because she wasn't in season 2 or season 3. It was something to that nature. But we getting to learn her more and more. The more we see Mary, the more we learn, right? It's always something with this lady. Angie starting off nice with like, ooh, I got your favorite drink. What is that? That's not my drink. Got too much sugar in there. You shouldn't even be drinking this either. Okay. Well, I got some food, some snacks and things like that. A little charcuterie board. And, I'm just going to start here. Okay. I'm going to apologize for, just kind of just with how I was responding, right? Because I was being bullied in the moment by Lisa, okay? And I was so caught up in the moment that, obviously I just kind of just, right. I didn't mean to dismiss you like that, right? So, of course, Mary's listening to her and she like, girl, I mean, yeah, like you was literally so angry you wasn't even listening to me, like, and bullying. She was bullying you, and she's like, yes, she was, because Mary didn't see it that way. She just seen it as, girl, you lost control, and you was forgetting who your friends was, because girl, I got your back, and instead of listening to me and trying to calm down and get my advice and stuff and my support, you just was attacking me. All because of Lisa. And I ain't like that. And this is where I was like, okay, see, Mary should get back to her roots. Cause bitch, she said, you was not my sister. Sister. She said it. And Andrew, white girl, I am your sister. And I was cracking up like, listen, Mary, you was getting her together, I ain't gonna lie. Because yeah, you supposed to be my friend. I had your back. You didn't even see me because you was so caught up in the mess with Lisa. And yeah, like I said, I ain't playing with that. I ain't playing with that. I don't like when people mess with me when they be burning me. I gotta let them go. That's the type of person I am. You got to earn back the trust with me, because she grew up certain kind of ways and people doing certain things to her and all this type of things or not doing things for her and all types of things, right? So that's what makes all this craziness about Mary, right? So yeah, the littlest things, with her being friends with you, she really your friend like that. She locked in, she right for you. But as soon as you cross her, that one time, it's over with. So she trying to get back with Angie. She just told her, okay, we cool for now, whatever, whatever. But we got to rebuild this trust because, oh yeah, you made fun of my farts. So they had a whole back and forth about she farted, I think back at Brownwood House, that rewind the tape. Oh my god, I got gas. Oh, I don't know where it's coming from. So Angie kept making jokes like, oh my god, we don't wanna get the spray for Mary because she over here stinking up the place, da 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 da. So don't make fun of my farts. That was rude, and this and that. My farts don't even stink. It was the dog anyway. So of course Angie's like, okay, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Give me a hug and we can move on. Okay, so Heather and Lisa. This was I guess a pivotal moment. We're gonna call this a pivotal moment because Heather is finally standing up to Lisa. Okay. And she's not doing it in the mean, malicious way or nothing. She's literally just trying to talk to her one on one, girl to girl, right? Because we friends, right? We friends. She ain't your friend, Heather. But you learning that though. You learning that. So first thing, obviously, Lisa wanted to bring glam to this yacht party or this yacht trip. And Heather's like, no, girl, you cannot bring glam. Where they gonna sleep? Where they gonna be at? We got enough room for us. Not nobody else, girl, please. Look, and they luggage of crap to make you up, child. You better have Brown or somebody do it. Oh God, it's the last person I want to do anything for me. Speaking of Angie, this will be the first luxury trip she ever took. She's gonna be so happy, excited to be on a super boat. She's never been on a nice boat like this before. And obviously Heather's like, now see, just that stuff I'm talking about. I'm just hazing each other, going back and forth. I'm tired of it, girl. I'm tired of it. We need to stop. You need to stop, okay? What? She's the one who's tired, who's attacking me. I'm so sick of her attacking me. Well, I didn't see her as attacking you. Like literally, she's over it. Like she was crying. She wants to move on. Crying. Oh my God, she's crying um because she's a mean bitch. What? No, Lisa. If she, you can't say that because if she's a mean bitch, that means you're a mean bitch. Oh, what? No, Heather, what did I do wrong? Just tell me. What? She's the one that brought up my kids. She's the one that takes these digs at me. She goes so low. Heather go. You go low too, Lisa, and you take digs at her too. So, I mean, like, who is Soup Man? I didn't say soup man. I said suit man. SUIT. Suit like soup, not soup. SOUP as eat soup. No, soup man. I mean, who the heck is that? I don't know. I just made some stuff up. I mean, we'll see, like this is stuff like that I'm talking about. We just can't be doing things like this, okay? And she's letting Lisa know that literally all of us, not just Angie, it's all of us have been burned by you in some way. And, we're just trying to, and I'm just trying to, say like, example, us. We haven't had the best of relationship, right? Our history is a little bit dark, but we acknowledge what we've been through and now we're getting over it and moving on, right? We came a long way. Here you go, Lisa. Oh my God. I can't believe this. Yeah. I was like, really, Lisa? Really? Because she didn't expect Heather. She thought Heather was just going to listen to her, agree with everything she said, forget Angie, I'm on your side. But no, Heather's saying, listen, you was wrong too, Lisa. And I'm going to need you to just say, oh, yes, I think I'm a little bit wrong too. That's all I want you to do, Lisa. That's it. I can't believe you would be that you're going to be, that you're saying this to me. And Heather's like, listen, I'm not trying to hurt you, girl. I'm just trying to let you know, like, this is what in order to move on and get over it, you might need to acknowledge what's going on with you and your side. You just have to admit to your side. Like, that's it. Brittany and her daughter Olivia. Oh goodness, Brittany. She's so lost in the sauce. Um, so we learning more about Brittany, as at the more we see her, the more we learning, right? I like Brittany actually, cause she just so the airheadness of it all, the delusion of it all, the it's just hilarious to watch, right? So I don't mind Brittany at all. Um, she does acknowledge that, dang, I had these kids, my marriage, my first marriage, right? Things didn't work out with her dad, with their dad and all that stuff. So divorced, moved on, and in her eyes, or her mind, she figured, well, I can remarry again and rebuild a whole new family, start all over, give them a dad, just this and that. But somewhere along the way, you just got married and focused on being a good housewife and kind of just said F them kids. So somewhere along the way, they just eventually moved in with their dad full time, and you just kind of just left them and never really communicated with them like you should. Just kind of went on with your life, and that choosing the man over the children, because eventually you got a divorce from that man, but you're still continuing the same cycle because I got a new relationship with this man Jared, and we don't know how many relationships she's been in between the second marriage and this Jared. So let's, what I'm saying, you've been doing this with whatever mans that you've been having or engaging with, and just forgetting about them two girls. One is older, I think she's like 20, 22 or so. So this one, Olivia is 19, of course, a little bit younger. They take a little bit longer to get understanding than the older ones because they just, I get it. And she's probably moved on or whatever, they got going on. But Olivia explains, obviously how she's feeling. She just wants her mom. I just want my mama. And I just need you to figure it out so that we could, continue this on, because I don't want things like that to happen to her in the future, like basically repeating the same thing that my mama did. But girl, you ain't got to. You can always, all generational curses or whatever y'all want to call it, it stops with you and your choices, okay? So, girl, choose your husband wisely. And when you have children, don't abandon them. So, Brittany, she gotta figure out when she figure out where to start, because girl is lost. Okay, so Heather and Meredith, they go take a walk around the block somewhere. Talking and kicking the girl style. Meredith has had a little rough 24 hours, to say the least. Obviously that whole garden party was a mess. Um, then somewhere along the line, she's eating something, chipped a tooth. Somewhere along the line, stubbed her toe, like just messing up a whole bunch of stuff, right? So, besides all of that, how is you doing? And, talk to Lisa. Of course, we got to talk about Lisa. You know, Heather is explaining to Meredith, like, dang, I'm finally seeing Lisa for her ways, and I'm a bit scared. Okay, this is Heather being scared now. She's kind of shaking in her boots, and I think she's reaching for allies to be on her side with this. So why not start with Meredith? Because bitch, that's her best friend, and if I can get her to turn, then we all can come together and pounce on Lisa, okay? Because she can't run, okay? Because we got to get her in the corner so she can't run. And this is why I think, oh man, Heather, that's why you getting them on the boat, because she can't go nowhere. Technically, I mean, she could try to jump ship, but if we all can pounce on her here, she can't escape. I see it now. I see it now. Anywho, I get it now. Yeah, like I see the ways that she's doing, She does like to do research on people and, save all her little knowledge and info that she's gathered up to use it against stuff, like, and for me, like, I'm scared a little bit because what's she going to do to me when she fall out and get mad at me? So I'm just looking at you because I don't understand how you forgave her after what Andy said that she did. And Meredith's like, okay, I see that. But look, me and Angie ain't cool like that. We ain't, like, how am I supposed to just take whatever she say as facts, right? I gotta ride with Lisa on this one and just say that she, if she, you know what I'm saying, if she says she didn't do it, she says she didn't do it. Okay? So that's how I'm gonna leave it. So of course, Heather is pushing it a little bit further, just, like, but dang, I just don't want to be in no friendship with people that treat people like this. Like, I just don't want this for myself, and I don't want this for everybody else. Like, I just need us to just be all, I mean, I know we not gonna be like perfect friends, but I just want us all to at least acknowledge that we all got some shit. When we do our shit with each other, we just need to stand in it. That's all I need. I just need everybody to stand in it, and I need Lisa to say sorry. And I think that's how this group can work together. We go over to Whitney's house. And, right before we go on this boat, they have to do a preference list, which is a whole bunch of stuff that you need or want on this boat. Because obviously, we're going to be on the water. So you need them to import everything you need there. And then they can serve you and all that stuff. So just be like perfect. Everything you need, everything you want. You know what I'm saying? The best service. which is cool. Mary is the last one to get her stuff together. She needs, obviously, she's the most bougiest of us all, so she really needs to get this stuff done because she ain't gonna have nothing, and we don't need her to not have nothing, right? I mean, she it look like she know how to make it work while she be acting like she don't. Like, come on now. Is you black like this or black like this? Okay? Shout out to Funky. Anywho, um, oh yeah. So, have you seen the news lately? The news. Oh, what's going on? Bronwyn. Ooh, what happened with Bronwyn? Mm-hmm. She got caught with some identity theft. Really? Do tell. So we flip straight to Bronwyn. She over there with Todd, in her cute little outfit. I kind of actually liked this outfit. Cute. It was like some shorts with a suit or whatever. Was it? Ah, yeah, yeah. But it was cute. Okay, I liked it. Um. So they're sitting down, they're talking, and yes, she is dealing with some type of identity theft, grand theft, fraud charges. It stems from, she says, about 20 years ago in college, doing dumb stuff with your credit and things like that, like getting eviction notices and what, right? Ooh, excuse me. Um, but somewhere along the way, that those things were dismissed in court and done with, right? So for this to come back up, it was dismissed and sealed. So it was something that was already taken care of. So she's kind of like, I don't know why it's being brought back up, but you know, it's a possibility that maybe Lisa is the one that is behind this because Lisa is the one that likes to do research on people, to use this against them. So with this, she's like, I know you got the messages and things like that, about this trip and how you feel, boop, 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 boop. And like Todd, he's he's like, listen, the the theft stuff. Okay, so first the theft stuff, because she's apologizing to him, like, dang, this is stuff obviously before I met you, for it to come out like this into the light, into the news, into the world, it will affect her and the people around her. This is your husband. He works, has a great job, and like businessman people stuff. They don't want that anything to do with theft, fraud. I they don't want none of that to do with none of their businesses. You got to keep that stuff as far away from us as possible because we don't want none of our stuff to go down, with your crap. So, apologizing to him because, I don't want this to affect your work, obviously, because it's going to affect her life if, he ain't got no job no more. Like, the monies. We need the monies. Not to say that it was going to be poor or nothing. I'm sure he got some good investments and a good pot of change in the bank somewhere. So, anywho, Todd is just telling her, like, yeah, I don't think you should go on this trip. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. If it was me, I'll be done with Lisa for sure. I don't want to be trapped nowhere with her. Like, why? Because I already know what it's gonna be like, and I ain't gonna. I don't know. Don't know. So, of course, Bronwyn is like, well, I mean, I could handle myself if I go on a trip. I mean, I know you ain't gonna like it and things like that, but I think that there's some things that can be talked about and worked out. And even if I don't have to like be friends with Lisa or anything, but I can just still be around her and be cool without all the mess. So of course Todd is still like, listen, I don't like that Lisa girl. Like I really don't. Like he said, I wouldn't even piss on her if she was on fire. Like he literally said them words on the TV, and we heard it. Camera caught it. Okay, like listen, Tiger don't change her stripes, and you go on this trip because, like I said, you can do what you want to do. Grown woman, make your own choices, but don't your ass bring your ass home get to talking my ear off about what Lisa said and what Lisa did because you already know. You already know. And that's where we left off, okay? Because it's on you, Ron, when you take your ass out there to that goddamn water, get in a fight with Lisa and try to come home to me crying. Girl, nope, no siree beezy. Because I'm going to be... Look, I'm just playing. Anywho, this is Salt Lake City. We about to go on this trip, and trip looks fun. So, whew, swoo, bye.